Hello everybody, this is Jasmina, and in this video I'm going to talk about breaker days and also breaker months to try to clear up some of the confusion in terminology, and hopefully this can make it clearer to you when either I or somebody else talks about breaker days, what we're talking about. So there are both year and month breaker days, and the key is breaker days, so it's focused on the day. They are generally not good days to start new projects, but other date selection properties could mitigate this a bit. In general, the best dates don't seem to be year or month breakers. Sometimes they are, but it's year breakers seems to be a bit rarer. Although in theory, since most of these formations don't have anything to do with the year, somehow they seem to still avoid it. And there can be a reason why, because there's a pattern between the year and the month. But I wouldn't say that it can't happen, that maybe there would be a really good day on a bad breaker for a breaker day. Now, but the rules are simple. The year breaker days are days where the day branch clashes with the year branch. So this snake year, all pig days are year breaker days. That's that simple. Next year is going to be a horse year. Then rat days, all rat days will be year breaker days. It's very, very simple rule. The month breaker days are where the day branch clashes with the month branch. So this is a snake month. All pig days are month breaker days, but they're also, this year, they're also year breaker days. So they're a big breaker day. It's a pretty weak day. All pig days this snake month are very, very weak in terms of having good energy and starting something new. In the upcoming horse month, the rat days will be the month breaker days. Now, if possible and the need is not urgent, try to avoid starting on year or month breaker days. Sometimes, for example, for the heavenly wish and will of heaven and heavenly pardon, they're so rare, I wouldn't be terribly worried about this. There's at least you can still use them, and you can always use these days for manifestation. Manifestation can be weakened by this, but it never is harmful. So it just may be a bit of wasted energy if it's, especially, let's say this snake month, the pig days, they've got double whammy, so they're going to be very hard to get much out of. There are also personal breaker days, and these are the days when your year branch clashes with the current day or current month's branch. Now, it also happens with the year, but we give it a different name. So when your year branch clashes with the current year's branch, this is your clash year. It is called Ban Tai Soi, or it could be against the Grand Duke. And sometime you would have the year breaker animal. That would be what is as your year animal. That is how it is also referred to. So there's various names. Now, every year that you clash with a year, you will also there'll be 1 month that you will clash with the month, and there will be at least a few days, at least 2 within that month, that you also clash with the day. So it's like a triple clash. And that's a pretty significant clash because you clash with everything. And, those days, if you don't have to do anything important, it's usually a really good idea not to do anything important. So it can bring you bad luck. So you want to be extra careful, especially with any kind of physical labor or, that you could get hurt with, or when you drive. That is probably the most to worry about. But of course, you have to know your breaker days. I'm not going to do each individual, but you do have to know when these occur for you. And I and you I can't do this, in a video to say this is your personal breaker day, because I'm talking to everybody. So I just hope that's clear that this is one thing you have to keep track of. Now, there are also breaker months, and that's simply where the month branch clashes with the year branch. So this snake year, the pig month will be the breaker month, and that is in November and a little bit of December. So that's still a ways away. Now, breaker days are more strongly negative than breaker months in general. But it's still not great to use a breaker month if you can wait, because they still have some negativity around them. What it's going to do is just have more problems crop up. That doesn't mean they're insurmountable problems. They're just more things to deal with. And lives are complicated enough. We really don't need extra. But if the need is urgent, you can use it. I would be okay with starting on a non-breaker day in a breaker month than waiting if the need was urgent. Now, it's also true that the hour can clash with the day, but this is not a bad hour, and it's not called a breaker hour or even an hour breaker. Either way, it doesn't work the same. And in fact, there are times when the hour could clash with the day, where you want to use it for manifestation and activation of a date selection formation, and it's okay. It doesn't seem to make it bad. It is still pretty effective. Maybe it makes it slightly less effective, but it doesn't. There's no warnings about this that I have found. So the Heavenly Assistant Hour is an example of this. It is the hour that is strongest in a particular day for manifestation or activation, and it can clash with the day's branch. It's not unusual. You will, if you've been watching my the membership videos, you will see sometime this happens, and it's okay. It doesn't destroy the formation just because there's a clash there. So the hour doesn't seem to obey the same laws, and it may be because it's only an hour long. It's not such a big deal. And so it's not like a whole lot of bad things can happen in an hour. Although a lot of bad things do happen at certain hours, but it's supposed to be the best time of a day that has a date selection formation that you want to activate. This is usually the time. There's other ways to do it, of course, and it's more important whether or not you clash with the hour, whether or not you want to use it. It's okay if the day does. So this hour, this Heavenly Assistant Hour, again, is based on the stem of the day. And so it's independent of the branch, and that's why you can have this clash develop at any point. So that's it. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Thankfully, this was a nice short one, and you guys didn't have to waste too much of your time. But I really want to thank you for watching. It keeps me going because people are interested. Thanks again.